All right. Looks like we are live. Good morning, everyone. So today it's going to be a little bit of a shorter live stream. I have been running around all morning. I had to go do some blood work. I had to go to the grocery store, so I'm running a little bit behind, but here I am. And I wanted to talk a little bit about Etsy and selling online, eBay, a lot of those different ones, Amazon. So yeah. It's Friday. That's nice. So, yeah, I have actually been on Etsy since the very, very beginning of Etsy. I believe there was less than 100 people on Etsy when I got on Etsy. It was right around Christmas. I'm trying to remember if it was December 2005 or January 2006, somewhere in there, but that's very, very beginnings of Etsy. And you guys have probably heard me discuss it before, but what I first sold on Etsy is more edibles. And so I had mason jars where you take and you layer soup mixes and or cookie mixes, like you layer the flour and the sugar and the chocolate chips, and you layer it all in a mason jar. And I would sell those. And so my first shop on Etsy got to almost 1,000 sales. It was at like 943, just below 950, when I had my second stroke. So I actually it was before my second stroke. It was when I had pneumonia and I had sepsis. So I shut my Etsy shop down, and then I had a stroke, and I did not continue that Etsy shop. I just didn't bake as much, and I kind of got into art then at that point. So now my Etsy shop is actually my third or fourth Etsy shop I have had, but every other Etsy shop I have had has been shortbread, pies in a jar. I sold pies in mason little half pint mason jars. So I've been around Etsy for a long, long time. I've sold on Etsy. If you're just coming in here, I've sold on Etsy since December 2005 or January 2006, somewhere in there. Hey, Creations by Baby Doll, how are you doing? Did you get your package? I haven't had a chance to track them. They should have arrived, though. I think it was yesterday. And Carla as well. Have you guys gotten your package? How are you guys doing? I'm kind of in front of the window today. Oh, okay, not yet. All right. I'll have to track it after. I have some tracking numbers. But because I think it said it was supposed to arrive Wednesday or Thursday. But you never know with the holiday. And we live out rural, so we have no we have the holiday on Monday, and then we have no postal service during the weekends at all. So no Saturday service here either. Yeah, Monday being the holiday, and then we don't have serve at Saturday. So I think most areas still have postal service on Saturdays. We don't. They took that away several years ago, about 3 or 4 years ago. So yeah, I'll try not to hit the computer. I'm on my laptop, and it's actually sitting like on my legs, so I'll try not to move too much. But okay, so hopefully you guys will receive those today, or that'll be exciting. But yeah, I was talking a little bit about Etsy, but I am definitely no expert on Etsy, and there is lots and lots of videos on here about Etsy. So I'm sure there's videos with way more information. So I just kind of want the basics. But I'd say the number one thing with Etsy, and I think everybody this drills this in their head, is photos. You got to have your best photos possible. And some of my photos aren't even that great. And I've been slowly retaking them and stuff because the photos is the main deal on Etsy. Does anybody have an Etsy shop? Do you guys have an Etsy shop? Are you familiar with the workings of Etsy? Do you have any specific questions about Etsy? But yeah, so my first shop was in the edibles, food and stuff. And so I sold shortbread, cookies, pies in jars, mason jar cookie mixes. And I got to almost 1,000 sales before I got super, super sick with my second stroke and my pneumonia and stuff. Because I had pneumonia and sepsis. I was sick for months with that. 2012 and 2013. And so this Etsy shop I have now has, I believe, 68 sales. So not a ton, but Etsy is the one thing about Etsy too is you cannot just post your stuff on Etsy and really you've got to be out there promoting on all the other platforms and really promoting your Etsy and be on social media constantly and stuff. So that's the one thing is a lot of people will put things on Etsy and they won't sell anything, but they haven't done a lot of work, because Etsy is such a huge platform. It's really hard for you to be found on Etsy. But I mean, it's a good thing. There's pros and cons of it because it is a huge platform. So it brings in a lot of people, a lot of business and traffic. But at the same time, it's kind of a it's such a huge platform you can get lost, and especially certain categories are very oversaturated. And honestly, art is starting to get pretty oversaturated, but as long as you try to my one thing is I try to have a variety of things and have a variety of price points. And that goes for selling online and selling in person. I have, all the way down to the little magnets and light switch covers and pendants, all the way up to really large $200 paintings. And jewelry boxes and everything in between. So, does anybody have an Etsy shop? Or are you thinking about doing an Etsy shop? I will put in the link in the description below. I have to do it after this is all done. But I do have a link if anybody is interested in doing an Etsy shop. It's like, I think your first 20 listings free. So for Etsy, it's free. Oh, you started one? You just need to add some pictures, so you don't have anything listed just yet? Yeah, that's the hardest part is all the photoing. That's probably the hardest part, at least for me it is. Um, and so Etsy is 20 cents. It's free to have an Etsy shop. It's 20 cents an item to list on Etsy, and your item stays up for 90 days. And then in 90 days, if it doesn't sell and you still want to keep it on there, you have to pay another 20 cents to renew the item. And then also there's ways of promoting your items. I believe it's $10, the Etsy Plus. And with Etsy Plus, you get $3 worth of listings. I think it's like 15 listings free. You get $5 worth of advertising free. So if you're going to be pretty active on Etsy and have a lot of stuff, it is kind of more beneficial to pay the $10 to have Etsy Plus. But it just depends, not for beginners or probably just starting out. Once you get to selling enough, a certain threshold, that's how I kind of do those sort of things is I wait until I add up when it makes more sense fee wise to pay the $10 threshold, then, just go ahead and pay 20 cents and not have those free listings. But so, yeah, just let me know if you guys have any questions regarding Etsy. Uh, it has definitely changed over the years. As somebody that has been on Etsy since I can't remember. I'm just going to say early 2006 just to be safe. But I believe it's like January 2006. It's either December 2005 or January 2006. So I'll just say early 2006 to be safe. But somebody that's been on there since the very, very beginning of Etsy, I have seen so many changes. And then, of course, the biggest being in 2015, it became the word just totally, a public company, on the stock market. I can't think of the word I'm trying to think of it was it went public, and you could buy stocks. But so in 2015, when it did that, there was huge changes in the whole thing. On Etsy, I did not have to add Etsy for my I did not have to add a social security number. Hmm. Maybe for the I don't know. Uh Did it ask you to put in a social security number? Because I definitely did not have to put in a social security number for Etsy. So just to open a shop and everything? Interesting. Yeah, I definitely did not. You definitely have to, think about that, adding your social security number and stuff. Yeah, if that's a new thing. I wonder if usually when they add new things, Etsy is pretty good. Uh, oh, your checking account number, that's so that you can get paid. You definitely want to add your checking account number or a credit card. Like I use a prepaid Visa. And so I have my Etsy connected to my prepaid visas because I don't really, because we have a business checking account for our construction business. So I kind of want to keep that separate. So what I do is I have just one of those like prepaid Visa cards, and I have my Etsy connected to that. So I don't have to provide a checking account number. I had to provide the routing number for it to be. You definitely want those numbers because that's how you get paid. If somebody buys something from you, you want to be able to get paid. Yeah, to kinda keep it separated, I have a prepaid Visa, and, I some of those prepaid visas, I think most all of them allow you to have a routing number and can get direct deposits. Just make sure you can get direct deposit on your prepaid Visa, but that's how I keep it, and, so I did have to provide those numbers, banking numbers, Visa number, but I did not have to provide a Social Security number. But Etsy is pretty good. They might have a little like question mark or something by that. Usually they're pretty good about giving information that you can click and see why, and they'll give a reason, hopefully. Because that is interesting. But no, I didn't have to provide that. But you do want to do banking because you want to get paid. So if you do, so it's 20 cents to list an item, and then if you do sell the item, they take out 5%. So I just always keep in mind and keep my items, where I know I'll still be making the amount I want to make after they've taken their 5%. I know it sounds terrible, but you gotta kinda bump your price up a little bit, 5% to I mean, or just kind of however you work it out, but just know in the end, they will take 5% from you. But, I mean, that's there for doing all the, having the platform, and I think that's really a reasonable it used to be 3%, and then they did up it to 5, but I think that's a reasonable amount. You make rosaries? Awesome. Yeah, I totally get not wanting to give out your social security number. That's pretty a number you want to keep pretty private. Uh, and the way to get around the banking information is just do a prepaid Visa. And then I just keep that prepaid Visa. It's just for my art supplies and my Etsy. And so it's all just related with the art and the Etsy. And that's kind of how I track that is just having it all on the one card, and that's all that's on that card. So, except for TubeBuddy, I do pay for TubeBuddy here on YouTube. That helps with thumbnails and tags and stuff like that. But other than that, that's all I pay for with that prepaid Visa. I can keep it kind of straight of what all's coming and going with that card. Oh, thank you. Are you new here or maybe a name change? I'm not familiar with Marie Smith, but welcome if you are new here. But, maybe and sometimes I'm really bad with names. I have, like, Swiss cheese brain. Like, some things I can remember, like, I have a really good memory, and then some things I just it's I've had past strokes and stuff, so I kinda call it Swiss cheese brain. I have missing little areas in my brain. Alright, you're new here. Awesome, well, welcome. We do a live stream on Tuesdays and Fridays. So Tuesdays, I do painting live, and then Fridays, we just talk. And so if anybody else has any Etsy questions, and I tend to try to loosely have a subject to talk about, like today we're talking about Etsy, but we chat about anything. It's kind of loosely the subject. So yes, thank you so much, Creations by Baby Doll, for welcoming Marie. Yeah, that's awesome to have some new people, and we've got a pretty good group of people that tend to come and go, and so yeah, it's pretty nice. And I go live Tuesdays and Fridays, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm on the West Coast. But so yeah, creations by Baby Doll. What are you going to be putting on your Etsy? Is it going to be acrylic pours, or what are you going to be putting on your Etsy? And my one suggestion, probably would be to of the best pictures you can have, and then have a variety of things, of price points, because there's going to be people that are looking for the more um, collector items, the more expensive items, collector art, things like that. And then there's going to be the people looking for just the quick gift, kind of the cheaper gift, and then all in between too. So that's why I like to have $5 items to $200 items. Oh, awesome. Some acrylic pours on different things and some vinyl projects. Awesome. So do you have a Cricut or do you have a die cutting? Is that what you mean by vinyl projects? You're going to be vinyling on stuff? Because I got a Cricut and I've been cutting out the papers that I do, the photo paper that I paint pour on the photo paper. Oh, you have a Cameo. Similar, yeah. Uh, and I also, my reason for getting the Cricut was to embellish pours. So I wanted to take the vinyl and put it on, do like a silhouette and different quotes on pours. But my problem is I'm having a problem with getting the vinyl to really stick really well. It seems to want to come off. It doesn't. So have you put vinyl on some pours? And my question is if you have put vinyl on some pours, do you clear coat before and put the vinyl on top of the clear coat? Because that's what I tried, and that's why I think it wasn't sticking. Because I was told, but I'm very new at the vinyl and all that, but I was told that if you put vinyl down and then clear coat over the vinyl has to breathe, and you can't put anything on top of it. So okay, so you put it on before the clear coat, and then you put a thing of clear coat over it. It was just one lady. She had the like booth next to me at a bazaar, and so you can let it sit. So I guess maybe that's the breathing that she was talking about. But she said you can never put anything over the top of vinyl. But now I've talked to a few people since she had said that, and they seem to have no problem with it, and they seem to clear coat over the vinyl. So I think that might be what I need to do, because when I clear coat, I did the varnish clear coat, the painting, and then I put the vinyl on top of that. The vinyl started coming up. It didn't stick very well. So okay, I might need to try that. Just then let it wait 2 days and then put on top of that. But yeah, I had gotten a Cricut machine to do vinyl, so I could put like I want to put a lot of inspirational. I just love inspirational quotes. But that's what I would like to do is use the pours as backgrounds and then put quotes. I've painted a few quotes, but it would be so much easier to just put vinyl. Yeah, you like doing the clear coat over it so it doesn't, and that's what makes sense. I mean, that definitely makes sense. And that's what I was thinking in my head, like you and because it doesn't stick, it peels off of if the clear coat's under it. But this one lady, she's no, you can't do that. So, but I've talked to many people since then. I don't think maybe she just didn't realize. Hey, artsy fartsy lovers, how are you doing? Welcome. Do you have an Etsy, I believe, don't you? We were just talking a little bit about Etsy. I'm no expert though, but if you guys wanted to ask me any questions, I've been on Etsy since early 2006. So pretty original there on Etsy, but it's always completely changing. One of the newest changes is they made in, and there was uproar on this. There was huge uproar, and there's lots of YouTube videos, and they explain it a lot more. I'm just going to kind of quickly explain it, but Etsy made a big change here about a month ago, 2 months, about 2 months ago. And what it was if you list anything over $35 and have it free shipping, you're going to get promoted. You're going to get higher up in the ranks and stuff. If you have things over $35 and it doesn't have free shipping, they don't promote you as much. They say I it's looking like they're not promoting people that don't have free shipping, like they're not promoting them at all. But I don't know. They say they're not as much. But so a lot of people have had to make the decision if you want to roll your shipping kind of into your price. And there's legalities about that. So it's kind of weird, like how Etsy, they're kind of wanting and pushing for people to put their prices a little higher and just roll their shipping into the prices and do free shipping. But that's kind of tricking people. And so I have free shipping in my shop, but I don't know. I don't know if that's the right way to go. So I've left my prices pretty low, but free shipping. So I don't know. I'm kind of experimenting, seeing how it'll go. But that was about 2 months ago. They made that switch. It used to be they just promoted everybody. They just like in their newsletters and on their front page and all that stuff and on the yeah, that's the problem a lot of people are trying to figure out. And some people have left Etsy due to that switch, that change that they've made. So, you either got to have you have to have a shipping fee and you won't be promoted as much, you won't be on the front page, you won't be, these little key little things that they kind of help promote you. But it's up to you. It's kind of a very, very, and it depends on what you're selling too. And if you only sell to the US, because this rule is only to US shipping. And so it really, really matters, how your Etsy shop is set up. I have decided to go the free shipping route and I've raised the prices like a couple bucks, but it's not the shipping. I haven't raised the prices to like totally cover the shipping, but a little bit, but not much. So, yeah, that's kinda Oh, awesome, awesome. Yeah, I bought, paintings from a couple of YouTubers. Um, which YouTuber did you buy paintings from who also has a Etsy? That's awesome. I love to, help and promote each other and, support each other by buying each other's art. That's important, that's good. So, I want to buy a couple of prints from, Bailey J. That's Bailey J is her vlog channel. Do I have my phone? I don't even have my phone. I was gonna look it up, but oh, okay, RV Debs. Yes, yes, I've seen her too. I've seen her live streams a couple times. She's got I like her mermaids. She does some beautiful mermaids. That's awesome. And yeah, Bailey J. Ah, it's because I know she has two channels. She has a vlog channel and then an art channel. For some reason, it was leaving me. I was thinking maybe her art channel was something else, like it's a play on that or something. But all right, you have 5 of her paintings. That is awesome. That is awesome. Have her latest mermaid. Awesome. Yeah, I've seen her a few times do some live streams and stuff. She seems like a sweetheart. Yeah, and I really like artsy fartsy lovers. Do you watch Bailey J? Uh, you seemed to, because we were talking about Tin Hun the one day, 1000, Tin Hun. So you seem to gravitate towards the really bright artists, kind of like I do, because those are both in that kind of genre. So yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, for like 8 years. Yeah, she's an OG on the art on YouTube. That's awesome. Yeah, and if anybody else hasn't checked her out or checked out RV Dubs, those are some great, yeah, definitely. So let me ask you guys, who is your favorite art channel on YouTube to watch? Let's see if anybody has any different ones that we haven't heard of, maybe. Because I love to check out new art channels. Actually, what I typed in yesterday, I was had a big, huge painting project I was trying to finish up, so I couldn't really watch anything. So I was more listening. So I put in TED Talk art. So I just put in TED Talk art, and I was listening to so many TED Talks about art and stuff like that. Okay, Slew. Okay, I know that one. Doke or Doki. I don't know if I know that one. Hmm. Yeah, definitely mention some artists on here. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. Uh, but I like to watch, I watch Bailey J, Ten Hun, Erica Lancaster, um, gosh, Emily Artful. Isn't that her name? Emily Artful? I maybe should have. I was expecting to talk about this. I should have taken some notes. I took notes on Etsy. That's the only thing I took notes on. But I'm really bad with names. So, but I have a bunch of artists on here I like to watch, and a bunch of small artists. Of course, Joni Young Art. Joni Young Art is probably she has just gorgeous colors. But yeah, yeah. Emily needs to make more videos for sure. Yes. Uh, but who was I just saying? Total brain fart. It is Friday for sure. But uh I'm trying to think of who I was just oh, Joni Young Art. Duh. Joni Young is just amazing, amazing artist. She was actually in the live stream the other day, which I was just like, ah. But Joni Young Art and everyone else. I mean, Artsy Fartsy Lovers, she has an amazing channel. Uh um Dina Tollefson. Dina Tollefson is amazing too. I was listening to a lot of Dina's really older videos, and I was learning a lot from those. HFS, the artist Haven, that is awesome. She doesn't have many subscribers, so that's pretty cool that you've found her. She's been doing a lot of live streams recently. Yes, I know who that is. She's only, I think, has like 60 or 70 subscribers, but she's an acrylic pour artist. Yes, Joni's trees are amazing. Joni's trees, her coloring. Oh, I really like Joni's art. I'm really into that kind of style. Do I have an eBay store? I do. I don't have anything on eBay right now. I need to put things on eBay, but I've had an eBay forever. But I used to sell more like vintage home decor, vintage patterns, books a lot on eBay. But I haven't sold any of my paintings on eBay. Oh, you can't wait for your Inktober to be over. It's awesome. You're doing an awesome job. I don't always comment. Sometimes I will put things in my watch later and then I'll just turn them on so they're playing back to back to back while I'm painting. So I don't always comment, but a lot of times I am watching and catching up on it. Your Inktober is awesome. It's very inspiring. It makes me want to do something like that next year. Awesome, awesome. So yeah, so it sounds like everybody kind of watches pretty much the same thing. Oh, yeah, getting good pictures. That is for I'm assuming for Etsy or eBay and stuff like that. That is the issue. So what I do is I have a skylight. So I live in the Northwest, so it can be very gray and gloomy weather. I honestly save everything up. I look at the weather ahead of time and then I decide whatever, Tuesday afternoon is going to be a nice, and I try to just, plan to the weather. And thankfully I do have a skylight so I can kind of place everything down below the skylight. So I have some real good natural lighting from above. And then I photo that way. If you can try to photo outside, photoing outside helps dramatically. And I don't know what type of camera you're using or anything. If you know how to turn your macros on your camera, that's the little tulip. A lot of cameras will have a little tulip looking design. Turn on your macros, and that's your little tulip. And you can get a lot better pictures, especially of close up of product. Is So I don't have an iPhone. I'm not really familiar with iPhones, but I hear they have great cameras. So I'm not sure how you turn on your macros is what you want to turn it on. And so it's a little on most cameras, on most apps, it looks like a tulip. and you want to turn that on, and you also want to double check your white balance. You want to make sure your white balance so you get good coloring. And those are my probably real good natural light. Turn on your macros, the little tulip symbol, and double check your white balance. Those are the three things I do for pictures. Um, and then if you are taking pictures through a different one, not an iPhone, but like an Android, Open Camera. There's an app called Open Camera. That's the best camera app that I have for free that I have found. So yeah. But yeah, I think pictures are definitely the hardest thing. Yeah, you do that too. That's the best way to watch besides playlist, I have found. Yeah. Me too. I'll just put on something, I'll do the watch later and I'll have a bunch in the watch later and then I'll just turn on the watch later list and I'll just play them all. So sometimes I don't always comment because I got my hands full of paint, but I am watching and listening and because I do have a small little TV in my little craft area, my little studio or whatever you want to call it. It's our dining room, but I am slowly starting to call it the studio, but it's always been the dining room. We moved the table out of it about 8 months ago. Hey, Katie, crafty ladybug. Yes, yes, your white should be a bright, bright white. And there should be something called your white balance. And you can go in and double check your white balance, get a piece of like white printer paper, and you can double check how your white balance is looking. But you definitely, those are the settings that I double check. And I don't know a ton about cameras. So that's just my basic little what I do when I'm doing it. Creations by Baby Doll took over part of the garage. Artsy Fartsy Lovers is in the family room off the kitchen. Awesome, awesome. We all have kind of carved out a little spot for our art. That's awesome. It's important. Uh I definitely well see, I'm actually in my bedroom right now, but I have two areas. I feel terrible. But I have a whole like corner of our bedroom and that's where I do my packaging of my if I sell art, I package things where my Cricut is, my paper products. It's more, but I don't paint in here. Like the finished paintings come in here and they're stored in here. And then I have the whole dining room, which I'm thinking about soon doing like a studio tour or whatever of my it's like probably a 10 by 12-foot room. I mean, it's a little itty bitty dining room. So it really didn't even work well for a dining room because once you put a table and chairs, you couldn't get around the table and chairs very well. So we have more of like a family room that we made the dining room, and now the dining room is my studio. But I think I'll do a studio tour soon. I just got to clean up my clutter. Oh, you took over your closed-in patio. See, that's awesome. That you'll have a good enough weather where you can do the closed-in patio. That's what I would enjoy. Even here with this weather, I think if I had a closed-in patio, I would do a lot of stuff out there. Yeah, it's so important, so nice to have windows. I have a very small this is my bedroom window, but I have a very small window in the studio dining room area. But we are gonna replace our windows in the spring. The whole house is gonna get the windows replaced. And Mike was measuring the studs and measuring the whole wall placement and stuff. And he said that he thinks that I could get a much bigger window. So hopefully this spring, my window might actually about double in size and width. It'll probably be the same height, but it should double in size. And so I'm hoping to have a much bigger window. But I have a skylight in my kitchen. And so that's where I do all my photoing. I have like a TV tray. It folds down flat. And so when I'm going to photo, I bring that out and I set up my whole little photo station, like right down below the skylight. So it works out really perfectly because it's real nice natural light from above. But windows and light is so important for art and for the right lighting for photoing and all that. Yeah, it's what you call an Arizona room. It is all climate controlled. That is awesome. That would be nice. That would be really nice to have. That sounds fun. Yeah, would love to have windows while I work. Yes. But yeah, so does anybody else have any questions about Etsy or, I mean, selling online in general? It doesn't even have to be Etsy. Etsy just happens to be my favorite platform, mainly because it's just so easy. They really have streamlined it. They have made me mad recently with the whole 35 and over free shipping thing, but I'm still there. I'm still on Etsy. I can't really find. I've done others. I've done Artfire. They are when Artfire very first came out, they were a little bit bigger. Um, yeah, you buy the full spectrum light bulbs for your artwork. You know, I didn't have full spectrum light bulbs for the longest time. It was probably June, July, probably June. I got full spectrum light bulbs. That makes a big difference too. That really does. Oh, okay. You sell PDF files on Etsy. I have a few things that I want to sell PDF files on Etsy. Some planner things that but it's on the to-do list someday. But what type of PDF files do you sell? No, I haven't done Fine Art America. I just don't feel like my stuff is, I mean, I have, yes, a few pieces that are probably fine art, but the majority of my stuff I don't feel is fine art. It's art, definitely art, abstract art. But I don't know. Does it fall in the fine art category? So, because some of the stuff I use is, craft paint and the cheaper paints and stuff. And also some people say it's not fine art if you use silicone. And some I do have silicone, some I don't. So it's kind of interesting. Oh, drawings and prints for the buyer to print. Yes, yes, that's a huge thing. The other day I was binge watching everybody's a bunch of episodes on Joni Young Art just did an episode on how to take your art and make it into print. So, yeah, I need to really bad. I don't have a scanner. So, well, I have like the cheapest of cheapest HP printer and it has a scanner on top, but it won't scan artwork. I tried already. But and I haven't taken anything in to be scanned, but I do have some pieces I want to sell prints of. I don't know if I would really sell. I'd have to. I'm not very techy, so I'd have to figure out all the PDF portions of it. But I want to sell prints at craft fairs and bazaars and stuff. And I think it would be a lot better to storage wise for me. I store all these canvases, and I can store prints a lot better too. Oh, what type of lighting do I use when I record my videos? What I have when I record my videos is they were super cheap, little tiny it's LED lights, and they're on stands. They were like $8 on Amazon for the two of them. I'll have to find a link to what I have, but they are on each side of me, so they kind of balance each other out. I have the regular lighting that's in the ceiling, and then I turn on two lights on each side of me, and they're just these little tiny LED lights. Um, that were I just looked up like lighting for photoing or something like that, and they came up and they're on little stands. I'll have to show them. Maybe next time I'm on a live, I'll show you my light. But yeah, it's just two little LED lights on each side and then a regular old ceiling light. Yeah, Fine Art America does prints of. See, I haven't looked into Fine Art America quite out so much because I guess when I hear fine art, I'm like, that's not me. I don't need to be worried about looking at that. But I've looked at some other websites that are similar to that. Redbubble, um, Society Six. There's several others that I have, and I need to. But my biggest thing is I haven't scanned any of my artwork in, and I've got photos of my art that I could, but I need really good photos to be able to make prints from them. Do uh is the full spectrum the purple lighting? No, it kind of has a little bit of uh the bulb is kind of purple, but when it's on, I don't notice so much purple lighting. But the bulb is actually kind of purplish, but I don't know. I guess it's not really purple though. But the bulb itself is. Is it buffering? Ugh. I'm directly hooked to the HDMI or what's this cable thing called? I'm directly hooked to the modem. I'm looking at the game. What is this called? Uh, but like renting artwork to TV shows. Yes, yes. Yeah, because if you notice, if you've looked at all I watch a lot of true crime and like CSI and stuff. And if you will not watch a lot of those shows, it's abstract paint. It's paint pouring back behind them. I'm noticing it in the backgrounds everywhere on TV shows. Ultraviolet is the purplish bulb. I had to get my foot out from under it was starting to, my foot was going to sleep under the computer. So yeah, the full spectrum lighting, the light it puts off is not purple at all. My light bulb itself happens to be purple, but the light it puts off it is just a real nice I don't know, just kind of a nice lighting. It looks really a natural lighting. But yeah, has anybody else done any of those other websites that I mentioned? Or there's the Fine Art of America, Redbubble, Society6. I mean, there's a bunch of them that are like that. Has anybody else done any of those websites? And if you have, I mean, how did they work for you? So you have a Redbubble. If you don't mind me asking, do you scan your artwork in, or do you photo your artwork and then make the prints? You scan. Yeah, that's on my so what I kind of do with my craft fair stuff is I try to save like 10-20% of what I make with my holiday craft fairs. And then my birthday's in January. So I buy myself a birthday gift, kind of, but it's with some of the profits with so hopefully if I make enough at the craft fairs this year, a good scanner, that's what's on my list. I want to get the scanner that Bailey J has because she makes really good prints. Yeah, I tried to do from photos. I just can't get a really good photo. I don't know if I need a better camera or something, but I can't get a really good photo. Um, and scanning my scanner is super cheap. But I've been told you can take your stuff into like Staples and Office Depot and have them scan it in too. Yeah, your printer makes all of the difference. Definitely, definitely. Um, it's an Epson. I want the one I want. I have written down. I have researched. It's an Epson. Blah blah blah. Scanner printer that prints like a bigger prints and stuff. But yeah, does anybody else have any questions about just like selling online or anything like that? Yeah, a lot of the shows or a lot of the networks will buy paintings and then just like rotate them around shows. But and not just the shows. There's a lot of like events and conferences and like business conferences that they'll rent. Because I have a friend that rented her artwork, and it was going to like business conferences and stuff, and they were displaying it just to kind of boost up the conference hall to make it a little bit better. So that was kind of cool. I always forget about that. Artsy fartsy lovers, that's a great idea. I used to look on there all the time. Um, I've bought a few video games on there for gifts for the kids, and I forgot. That totally yes. Amazon warehouse. That's a great idea. Yes, yes. Yeah, because I've bought video games and they were brand new video games, but they were way, way, way cheaper. So it's definitely yes. Everyone check that out. I need to remember these things. But yeah, so I went this morning. I went to Lowe's and I got some more liquid nails and the sawtooth picture hangers because I have been making lots and lots of tiles. And so I'm just putting picture hangers on backs and stuff and not making them into coasters. I'm making them into um, I've made a lot of barnwood pieces. I've made a lot of just single coast or single tiles that I put a sawtooth hanger on the back. So I've been making my art tiles into more of like art tiles than coasters. So I've already been to the grocery store, to Lowe's, everything this morning before 9 o'clock. So what's everyone got planned for this weekend? Anybody have some exciting fun plans for the weekend? Uh, I'm not really doing much of anything because this is my last free weekend for like 9, I believe, weekends straight. So I really didn't plan much of anything for this weekend, just finishing a couple of my projects and resting up, getting ready for next weekend. Because next weekend's my kickoff art fair weekend. See, yeah, that's exactly after Christmas, like January 4th. See, that's when my birthday is. I'm not gonna tell you, yeah, well, I could tell you guys, but anybody else that may be lurking watching, I don't want to tell my birthday. But it's in the beginning of January. I'll be 40. I'll be 40 in just a few months. So that's why I try to save about 10 to 20% from each of my sales, my bazaars and craft sales, and then I do the after Christmas clearances or after Christmas sales and stuff like that. So yeah, that's when I'll probably be looking for a scanner is at that time. You're relaxing all weekend. That's awesome. That's good. You're resting your back and Katie's diamond painting. That's awesome. Some Derwent watercolors and oh yes, that's so awesome. I got this is terrible, but you know those Facebook groups? I don't know if you guys have them in your the Facebook sell groups where they're like buy, sell, trade of whatever town you're in. Well, I was cruising through those one day and I found Derwent watercolors, Prismacolor markers, and Prismacolor two different brand new sets of Prismacolor coloring pencils, Derwent drawing pencils, like actual and so it was like I think it was $15 and it was a lot of art products. And I went and met the lady in like a really shady part of town and I bought it, but I think I think they were stolen. I'm pretty sure I bought stolen stuff. She just looked the area I bought them from, and it was just way too good of a deal. It was, and they were all new. It was all new stuff. $15, but yeah, I think I have stolen art supplies. I'm pretty sure. Oh, yeah, I'll be 40. I'm freaking out about that. I'm not just a babe. I'm not just a baby. I'll be 40. But yeah, but yeah, so you guys have something like that? Yeah, sweet find. It was way too good to be true, but I went ahead and took her up. I mean, and someone else was gonna be next and gonna buy it anyways. And as there's nothing really I could have done. So I went ahead and bought it. So every time I color with those colored pencils, I'm like, these are probably stolen. Sennelier or I don't even know how. I never know how to like. There's so many brands of art products, or art products that I don't know how to say. But I think it's Sennelier. Yeah, you'll be 62 in February. That's awesome, though. I honestly think that it's the 40s that everybody freaks out. You get through the 40s and then you're good to go. It's just those 40s. It's just difficult. You finally face the fact that, okay, I'm 40. I don't know. Maybe it's just 39 that has me freaked out. That I'll be 40 in just months. Yeah, you were talking about coming up here possibly for your birthday, coming up to the Northwest. Because I think you have friends with the same birthday. I have the same birthday as my sister. My sister, whom I've only met once. But yeah, I have a sister who's about I believe she's exactly 14 years older than I am. She's a half sister through my dad, and I've only met her once, but we have the same birthday. So I think that's kind of weird that my half sister has the same birthday as I do. So when my dad forgets my birthday, it's pretty bad because he has two kids with that birthday, so he probably shouldn't be forgetting my birthday. But it happens. Oh gosh, yesterday. Do you guys ever have these days where you're just kind of feisty? Like you're not in a bad mood, but you're just kind of feisty. Oh, yesterday was kind of my feisty day. I don't know what was up with me. I was just kind of, I don't know, in an interesting kind of playful mood, but I was just kind of snappy and feisty, but just not like funny little things. Yeah, your friend lives up here. That's so cool to have a best friend that's only 12 hours older than you. And you guys have been best friends for a long, long, long time. I was like on the verge of snippy, where there was a couple moments I was probably snippy, but most of the day I was just kind of feisty. But so yeah, what else? What do you guys got planned for this weekend? It sounds like everybody's just kind of hanging out. Sounds like everybody's got a good weekend plan. Not too busy, just kind of hanging out. But do you guys have any other questions for me? I mean, questions in general about anything, questions about online selling, Etsy, any sort of questions about pouring, paint pouring, or anything. Because I am hitting on 52 minutes, so I'll stay on here until I'm on an hour. But if you have any questions, now would be the time. Friends to get since you were thrown together in the dorm in college. You've known her since 1976. That is awesome. That is awesome. Yeah, I hope you can come up here in February because that would be neat to be able to meet, with that friendship. It's fun to maybe celebrate your birthdays together and stuff. Mike had the same birthday as my grandma. She's not alive anymore, but it was really fun to be able to do something fun with grandma because it was also Mike's birthday. So we usually could do kind of incorporate this, and they really got along really well, my grandma and Mike. So it was neat that they had the same birthday. And now we can kind of continue to celebrate Mike on his birthday and kind of honor grandma at the same time, each time. So my grandma was my bestest friend. I talked to her every single morning on the phone. So yeah. Do you guys still have you guys used to have some wild parties back in the day. That is awesome. See, you got to get together and reminisce and talk about all your back in the day, remember when, stories. Those are always fun. My bestest friend that I have all the, wild party stories with and stuff, she moved to Kansas. So we still stay online and but we don't really hang out like we used to. She moved to Kansas and stuff. And now she has grandkids and stuff that keep her pretty busy as well. So, but yeah, this is kind of a little bit different background for me today. Uh, I just honestly, my house is a disaster. I'll tell you that like it is. No, it's not really a disaster. It's pretty clean. But I was searching for a certain paperwork. And so I have little piles of paperwork out in the living room that I was searching through this tub of paperwork. And then once I got dived into the tub of paperwork trying to find a certain one, I'm like, this is out of control. This is nobody can find anything. So then I started sorting and organizing the whole tub and kind of went down a rabbit hole organizing paperwork. So and then realized, oh shoot, I have a live stream coming up. So I didn't want to throw all that paperwork back in one pile. So I just came in the bedroom. Sister from a different mother. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, me and my bestest friend, we have some wild stories too, both back before children, before we had children. My life is much different before children and then after children. Because I was quite a partier before then. As soon as I had kids, my life completely changed. But yeah, we got really, really drunk one time and decided, hey, it'd be fun to drive to Vegas. But we didn't have neither one of us had the best cars, so we weren't sure if they would make it to Vegas. So we, like on a whim, within an hour of deciding it, went and rented a car, went and took off and drove. We didn't even know how far Vegas was to drive. And so we started driving from Washington to Vegas. And then we got to about Sacramento, California, and we stopped and asked and got some directions and realized, oh, Vegas is a lot further than we thought it was going to be. So we actually went to Reno. So we have a great story of our Reno trip. But that's the one and only time I've been to casinos, gambling and stuff. But we had a blast. We had an absolute blast. But it was like one of those, I've never done like spur of the moment trips like that. It was like, huh, wouldn't it be fun to go to Vegas? Let's do it. You have the next couple days off? I have the next couple days off. And we were gone within like an hour and a half. We were had a car rented, had our stuff packed, and we were on the road. But yeah, I like Reno better. I've been to both Vegas and Reno, but I've never as a kid. I've been to both Vegas and Reno as a kid traveling through. So the only one that I've been as an adult is Reno. And I was only 23, I think, when we went, 22. So yeah, I mean, it was a blast. It was an absolute blast. Us girls, heading down I-5, just we were heading to Vegas, but we made it to Reno. And it was winter, so the roads to Vegas probably weren't the best. Oh. Oh, thank you. It's one of my favorite parts of Friday. I love when you guys hang out with me. Yes, I love it. I appreciate each and every one of you that come hang out with me. That's awesome. Oh, I'm so happy for you to say that. Yes, that means a lot to me that you guys, that's your favorite part of Friday too. That means a lot. Yeah, I walked in at Reno, put I think it was a penny slot. I mean, it was like something stupid, but I won $50 like immediately. My very first, I won $50. That's what my dad, he goes to Tahoe. My dad loves Lake Tahoe. I mean, he goes probably 2 or 3 times a year. He loves Lake Tahoe. Or Reno. He every once in a while goes to Reno, but he doesn't go to Vegas at all. He's not a people person. So he definitely goes to Reno or Lake Tahoe, but that's his favorite. And that's what a lot of people say is it's easier to win in Reno. But Vegas has the shows. And that would be the only reason I would go to Vegas is for all the shows, the food, all the other stuff than really the casinos. We just recently got a casino. Well, recently, probably a year and a half. We have a casino. Did you know that, Katie? We have a casino here in town. It's really weird. It's actually out off of I-5 towards La Center. La Center is on the way to Longview. And so yeah, we have a casino here. I haven't been into the casino yet. I've had several friends that work there. They seem to have a really high turnover on jobs there because I have lots of friends that have worked there and left there. But so yeah, you did know that we had a casino. Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird to have a casino here. We normally never. And that was in the plans for like 20 years. And then they finally approved all the stuff. And now we have one. Yeah, Laughlin. My grandparents loved to go to Laughlin. Oh, okay. They were building it. Yeah, it would took them forever to build it because there was a lot of fighting with the county and stuff like that. Oh, you have illegal casinos. We have a few illegal like card rooms and stuff like that. Kind of quietly, people kind of know stuff. So some poker tournaments that are kind of illegal, behind the scenes poker tournaments I've heard about. Yeah, it's huge. The casino is huge, huge. They do concerts and all kinds of stuff there. They have a Michael Jordan steakhouse there and a steak. So you buy like your steak and then you add on the like baked potato or the veggie and stuff. So your steak itself is like $80. And then once you've added on your potato and your veggie and stuff, your meal's going to be at least $120. So yeah, we have a Michael Jordan steakhouse in our casino. And actually I've heard bad things about it. So I haven't gone though. You go to Tunica. That's awesome. You have a small venue. That's awesome. I've actually only been to like kind of one concert. I say sometimes no, I've never been to a concert, but I went to a concert when I was a kid in the at the elementary school. They had Stephen Curtis Chapman. He is a Christian singer. And he came to the elementary school and sang, and it was like a concert in the field of the elementary school. So I kind of been to a concert before, but that's it. That's the only concert I've really ever been to. Yeah, it's down in Arizona. You got some big casinos down there. Yeah. And now at the Oregon coast, we have some casinos. We have in Newport, or no, Lincoln City, Oregon. Mainly the reservations out towards the Oregon coast. They have casinos down there, which I've actually thought about. The one casino on the Oregon coast has a 3-day in the spring where you can rent a table, rent a little area and sell. They have like an art show thing. And I've heard really good things about it. It might be good to be at a casino to sell items. I mean, it could go both ways. It might be bad to be at a casino or it might be good. So, yeah, I don't know. The wineries have been amazing for me. I love selling myself at the wineries. We have a lot of local wineries. And the people come through, look at your stuff, they ooh and ah, they really like it. And then they go have a couple of little tastes of the wine, go wine tasting tour. Then they come back through and they're feeling a little bit better about opening that wallet. And so the wineries have been great. Yeah, I think and so. It's in the springtime. It's a 3-day show at the casino. Yeah, you never know. I could end up in the gift shops in the casino. I actually have a couple of things in the works to get my art out there. We have a couple of vintage shops, and they're mainly like farmhouse decor and vintage furniture and stuff. But this one lady that owns three of them right here in our little tiny town, she owns three little shops. She has approached me, and so I might be doing that soon. We're kind of been the introductory talking and deciding money and commission wise and stuff. So I'm thinking about doing that. So, but some of my stuff I think would fit in because her shops are very like farmhouse decor. Yeah, that would be it would be great. I gotta see if it'll work out money wise. She's thrown around a few numbers that sound like it would be all right. I need the official, like, I want to see a contract. I want to see in writing. But from what she's been talking about, sounds pretty good. So yeah, and there's a couple of places eventually. My goal is to get in Portland. I think getting my art over to Portland would be big deal because Portland, Oregon has a big, big artsy. They have some artsy pockets of town. So I have a couple of places in mind I'll be applying for in Portland. I actually have a friend who opened a art store. It's called Oregon Organized. It's the word organized, and it's all artists from up here in the Northwest. And they just opened it in the Lloyd Center, which is the biggest mall of Portland, Oregon. So I'm talking in talks with them. So I have a few things kind of in the works that I've been trying to get worked out. Yeah, I thought it was pretty cute. It's organized. but it's the word Oregon. And they have it all done in their sign is so pretty. They have it done in a wood carver carved it out. The whole big sign above the store. So it's really pretty. So, and they're just getting opened up. They just got the keys the other day, so I'm letting them kind of get figured out and get organized and figure out what the space that they have available. So yeah, and they have two. They have one in Clackamas Town Center and one in Lloyd Center. Those are the two kind of biggest shopping malls we have in Portland. So it's their second one they're opening. But so all right, guys. Any more questions? Any Oh, okay, so you are familiar with Lloyd Center. Lloyd Center is fun. Lloyd Center is huge. It's a huge, huge mall. It's 3 levels. Well, it's 2 main levels, and then there's some things on the 3rd level. But, yeah, so I went to Lowe's earlier, and I got the liquid nails and the sawtooth hangers, so I need to get off of here, because what I'm gonna go do is turn over all my tiles, and that's what I use is liquid nails to, adhere the sawtooth hangers. And then I let them just sit on their tops all drying. I can't even talk today. And then I'll put them away this afternoon. So earlier I get that done, the drier they'll be by this evening to put them away. Oh, okay. They built it when you lived with in Klamath Falls. Okay. Yeah, my dad was a millwright on part of the building it. He built Vancouver Mall, Lloyd's Center, a lot of malls around here. Yeah, liquid nails is awesome, especially for something you want really sturdy to hang those tiles on the wall. You don't want to risk the hanger coming off and then falling. So that's what I just went to Lowe's a little bit ago and got some more liquid nails and some more of the little sawtooth hangers. And then I go to the Dollar Tree and I buy furniture. They're like for to put on your furniture so it doesn't mark up your floor, the furniture pads. And I cut little 2 little pieces and put them on the bottom corner. So then it sits flush on the wall and it won't, that tile won't mark up the person's wall. That's what I do. But so, all right, guys, I've been on here over an hour. And so I really appreciate each and every one of you guys hanging out with me. It's super awesome to hang out and chat with you guys. And it's fun times. So I really appreciate you. And I hope you guys have a great weekend. And I'll be back here on Tuesday. And I've got a few videos coming out and stuff like that. So look for those. Otherwise, we'll be back Tuesday for a live stream. But I hope you guys have a great weekend. And I really appreciate you and thank you for hanging out.